when you see children evolve, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, and you suddenly, your mind opens to, oh, this can be achieved at this age. You see someone at a 70-year-old suddenly have a new vision and they go after it on fire. And it suddenly evokes something in you for your own parents and for your own grandparents. And so what happens is extraordinary things that happen for people around you becomes input for your predictive intelligence. For me, the arena is very important because what happens here is not about you and me. It's about you, me, and all of the peers around you. And this is what I want to work with you this morning is I want to open your mind. See, when you come here for the first time, you might be focused on your life. You might be focused on, the challenges that you're coming through, the last things in your, so for some of you, this is the last shot at certain things. And for some of you, you're curious and you want to get to the next level, but you're absolutely riveted and focused on why you are here. You're here for your purpose. But for us, what is important is not just to fix the challenges that you've come for, but also to increase and enhance your predictive intelligence. And predictive intelligence, the way we think about it, is your ability to know how does some small change or a additional capability for you or for someone else, how will that change several other areas in your life and several people around you? And that's not very obvious. And all of us have various degrees of predictive intelligence in different areas. Some of us are good at knowing what happens inside a family setup. If you change this way, what are the effects it'll have on the children? What are the effects it'll have over there? Some of us are good at what happens, in an office setup. Some of us are good in what happens in the business setup. And some of us are good, of systemic changes and its impact in ecosystems. But, the thing with predictive intelligence that I've noticed is that no matter how good you are, it can continue to evolve and get to the next level. And in an arena like this, and this is why I love coming back to a setup where, we're not in an auditorium anymore, is because in an arena like this, what happens is you were amongst a lot of people who, in a very short time, just like you, are going from one level in their life to another level. And that's a lot of data for your unconscious mind. And when you see children evolve, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, and you suddenly, your mind opens to, oh, this can be achieved at this age. You see someone at a 70-year-old suddenly have a new vision and they go after it on fire. And it suddenly evokes something in you for your own parents and for your own grandparents. And so what happens is extraordinary things that happen for people around you becomes input for your predictive intelligence. Now, a lot of times, what I've noticed is first time up participants miss that out because you're so focused on you and you're so focused on what it is that you want. And that's okay because you get some of it or a lot of it or more than that by the end of these 7 days. But what happens is the second time you come, you think, oh, why couldn't I have done these things the first time I came? And so, it's not necessary, but if it's possible, I would love to save you those 6 months of extra evolution. Remember, this is an ANH installation arena. And, from this moment onwards till we wrap up, anytime you step in here, someone is doing installations on someone. And installations are different from change work. There are some of you might have, those of you for the first time, you might have done something online already, right? A lot of you might have done something online. You have some experience of certain procedures. People ask you to think something. They might do a collapse anchor, or they might do some work with your unconscious. Those are different from installations. Installations are when two people are having conversations, and when in that conversation you're consciously entertained, you're engaged, but your unconscious mind is learning something new that it hasn't learned before, and it's learning something very important. And it's an installation arena, which means when something like that is happening and you're paying attention, either that's useful for you, or you intuitively pick up how to do installations. A lot of up participants, not big participants, sometimes a lot of up participants, yeah, they haven't registered for big, but they just come for up. But they go back and they say, I told my son a story, and he's behaving differently now. And they wonder, how do I know to do that? Well, you know to do it because you're in an installation arena, and when you talk, and you're going to pick up installation skills, but not if you're only going to be focused on just you. And the brain works like that. It loves something called as fractionation. Then if you do something for a while, for a few hours, and then you shift your attention to something else, and then you come back to what you were doing. In the early days of when they were discovering trance and inductions, what they would do is they'd put people into sleep, and they'll set up an anchor that if I press you here, you'd go to sleep. And then they'll wake people up. And then they'll say, if I press you here, you're going to wake up. And then they'll put someone to sleep and wake up, sleep and wake up, sleep and wake up, sleep and wake up. And when they keep doing that, what would happen is that the person would go deeper and more deeper each time into the sleep. And every time you shift your attention to something else and come back to something, you find that your unconscious mind has already done a lot of work into it.
We never like to complete our video without giving you the opportunity to personally evolve and launch your legacy. Imagine for a moment, what would it feel like when you are impacting the world positively so much and enhancing your business, your health, your family, and legacy. All of this together simultaneously, continuing to grow leaps and bounds, fast and smoothly. If you've got the right motives, we believe Antino and Harni will be able to help you launch your legacy in compressed time. Get excellence installation-based personal evolution and keep making a difference, starting with yourself.